Asks.
All right, ready to make the transfer now?
Traumatic injury, when somebody, such as a car accident, where they're going forward, your brain is moving kind of like jello in there, and it's called coup, contra coup, so it bounces.
This is VOA Tech.
In the news tonight, City of Windhoek secures 155 million Namibian dollar loan for new power substation to avoid load shedding.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening, I'm Isai Sipunga, and here's what you can expect in tonight's bulletin. Rundu Town Council listed amongst the worst performing local authorities. Mad Safety Campaign promotes monitoring of medication in circulation. Namibia and Angola discuss transboundary water projects, and Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports, and the weather. The Rundu Town Council in Kavango East has been ranked amongst the worst performing local authorities in regional councils in the country. This is according to an assessment conducted by the Institute of Public Policy Research on the level of transparency, accountability and governance of local authorities and regional councils in the country.
Among poor performing local authorities in the regional councils are Karas Regional Council, Karasberg Town Council, Katima Mulilo Town Council, Marienta, and Okahanja municipalities. The study, which included 12 municipalities and 6 town councils, focused on municipalities and larger town councils where institutional capacities are relatively more established. The information was gathered from the 1st of September 2020 up to the 30th of August 2022.
Notably, towns like Rundu had their water supply cut on more than one occasion due to their failure to honour utility debt repayments to NamWater. And so to deal with these debt issues, a lot of these debt issues are of course stemming from COVID-19 and the directive from government in 2020 to give residents access to water irrespective of their ability to pay for it. In terms of development committees, it seems like the majority of councils, they're not so active. They seem to be an underutilized resource.
Efforts to get comments from Rundu Town Council management and PRO were futile. IPPR's research associate Kitty Migia added that they struggled to get a response from many councils even after confirming to participate in the survey. She stated that the response was disappointing, only totaling to 15% of this institution responding.
We struggled with getting responses from a lot of councils. In the end, despite multiple extension deadlines, correspondence with all councils, 50% of councils sent confirmation that they were going to be responding. Ultimately, we only received 15% response rate. In terms of budgeting, financial statements, audit reports, only 5 councils shared their financial data either on their online platforms or with the IPPR directly. And these councils were Walvis Bay, Windhoek, Riabos, Riffontein, Irongo, and Hardap region. only two councils indicated that they had had public budget consultation meetings within the last 2 years. And only Windhoek and Walvis Bay posted media briefing budgets. So as well as posting their full budgets, they also posted condensed versions, PowerPoint summaries, just to make the information accessible to everyone.
Local authorities listed under best performing include Erongo Regional Council, Kavango West Regional Council, Oshakati Town Council, Swakop Munt Municipality, Walfish Bay Municipality, and Windhoek Municipality, amongst others.
Prevent cramps with Fabifarm's new MBA Cramp Stop. Developed to bring fast and effective relief from cramps in athletes, active people, and senior citizens. Manufactured in Namibia, Fabifarm's MBA Cramp Stop contains a carefully selected blend of vitamins and essential minerals to prevent cramps, with a full month supply of capsules. It's Fabifarm's new MBA Cramp Stop, your #1 choice in cramp prevention. Now available at all leading pharmacies countrywide.
Namibia this week joined the world in observing the Mad Safety Week campaign, which is aimed at engaging national pharmacovigilance centers and regulatory authorities worldwide on awareness on medication safety and monitoring. At the Government Information Center, pharmaceutical professionals emphasize that patients, together with healthcare workers, play a critical role in the safety monitoring of medicines being used.
Senior medicine safety pharmacist at the Namibia Medicines Regulatory Council, Anna Shimbulu, explained that regulators have a mandate to ensure that medicines circulating on the Namibian market are safe and efficacious, noting that safety monitoring of a pharmaceutical product should continue throughout its life cycle.
It's worth noting that before a product can even be introduced on the market, there are processes that are in place that assess the safety and efficacy of a pharmaceutical product. So each product, after it has been tested preclinically, that's in animals, and then it undergoes the various phases in human studies, first in healthy volunteers and then in unhealthy, in the various phases. And throughout these processes or throughout these clinical trials, we gather more data on the safety of the product, although the safety profile at this point might be limited, but it's sufficient enough because we have a sufficient sample size to make a decision that this product is relatively safe and can therefore this data is submitted to a regulatory authority for review, and then after its review, it can then be approved for marketing authorization.
Pharmaceutical Services Acting Director of Operations at the Ministry of Health and Social Services, Barnabas Itula, stated that despite the correct dosage and administration of medication, there are still risks involved, hence monitoring is important.
I can give an example like in children, for instance, whereby doses need to be calculated per weight. We don't necessarily need to look at a kid and then look at to say, okay, this is 1.6 meters is probably now can able to take an adult dose, but we need to use the weight and calculate. So long as it's under the theme as a pediatric, we need to calculate that on. Then we can able to say the medication are safe so long as those aspects is taken in considerations. However, the risk of medication are still there. Remember, these are some pharmaceutical ingredient that are going in your system, so there are still some risks that are there, and that's now resulting in what we call pharmacodynamics in terms of the interaction between the body and the medication when you put them in. So there are still that room of to say, what are we doing about the risk? We know it's safe, when it's done in the correct way. But those minimum risk, that's the one now where we come in to monitor, because we know that even the manufacturer, the patient leaflet, it reported that there are certain aspect of 10% to 1%, 1% to 10%, and this is now depend on which medication we are talking about. So these are the risks now we come as healthcare professionals in order to assess, because it's a risk, not something that is granted, but you know there's a 1% chance that a normal individual taking his medication at the dose, the doctor have done his part, the pharmacist done his part, the patient has done his part, but still there are those risks to come.
This year's campaign, which is the 7th, was observed under the theme How Patients and Healthcare Professionals Make Safety Work, is an initiative of the Upsal Monitoring Center, a coordinating center of the World Health Organization for drug safety globally.
The Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Kali Slatvine, accepted an invitation from the Angolan government this week to inspect Water Commission projects aimed at alleviating the effects of prolonged droughts experienced in the northern parts of Namibia and southern Angola. The visit mainly focused on the Kunene River, which is shared by the two countries.
Namibia and Angola set up 6 water usage agreements along shared borders between 1886 and 1991. According to Schletvine, one of the projects located in Angola, approximately 30 kilometers upstream from Ruacana Falls in Namibia and 14 kilometers north of the Namibian border, is the Kaleki scheme. Schletvine said the scheme is a newly signed interim joint operation which is meant to supply water for human and animal consumption in northern Namibia and southern Angola.
I'm also very much aware that southern Angola and northern Namibia suffered a very severe drought in the last couple of years. The pressure on the water resources increased very significantly, and I'm therefore very pleased that we have agreed that this precious resource of water, its utilization must be augmented by proper infrastructure development that brings the water to the people, and that because of our very good relationships, we can do that to the benefit of both. Of course, we both realize that the Kunene River is a shared river. Both our people are dependent on the river as a permanent water resource. And what we have agreed upon that we must do together is how we align this piece of infrastructure so that both Namibians and Angolans can benefit from this very important development. We have also agreed, and I'm very thankful for that our technical teams will meet as soon as time possible, and then they will propose to us at ministerial level how we can optimize the beneficiation of this project.
The Angolan Minister of Energy and Water, João Baptista Borges, indicated that the two countries have been working in rehabilitating the Kaleki Dam by installing a permanent pump station and further rehabilitating the canals to improve water supply to both countries.
As you know, we have with Namibia a shared set of river basins. We are particularly referring to the Kunene, the Kuvalai, and the Kavango river basins. Naturally, all the projects that are to be executed in any of the river basins concerns both countries. It is in this spirit we have agreed with our Namibian counterpart, His Excellency the Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Karl Stratvine, to render a visit to the Kafo project, which is currently in operation and has its source as the Kunene River, where water is abstracted, and has a combined or has a number of canals that total around 165 kilometers.
Baptista further said that Angola is still busy constructing a number of dams in areas surrounding the Kunene River and that the two countries are looking to enhance transboundary cooperation on the Kunene River basin.
Welcome to Friends Stadium. Everybody's ready. Wait a second, not everybody. Come on, dude. It's the FIFA World Cup. You're going to lose your seat, the ritual seat, the lucky one. Losing more than a seat, your team is going to lose. Where are you, dude? The match is about to start. Your friends won't hold out much longer. Excuse me. Finally, everything is in the right place. Hey, other hand. And you, do you have everything you need to believe?
Welcome to this edition of Business on One. The Development Bank of Namibia has announced that under its new business rescue plan, they will offer businesses that are struggling to repay loans with the option of converting debt into shares to be acquired by the bank. DBN will further deploy managers to such businesses to render technical and management advisory services. This program is aimed at preventing liquidation. The Development Bank of Namibia Chief Executive Officer Martin Inkumbi stated that the country is facing unfavorable economic conditions as it emerges from the COVID-19 pandemic and now faces the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war in Europe. This has led to hardships for local businesses, with some struggling to repay loans. As a result, DBN enforced liquidation on those that defaulted. To avoid such outcomes, DBN has introduced a scheme that will provide the conversion of debt owed to the bank into preference shares.
There are some businesses that maybe 3, 4, 5 years back took out a loan, say, of 20 million. The business environment was at a different level. We assessed, and the borrower could afford to repay a loan of 20 million. Come COVID-19 and the current environment, revenue of that enterprise is gone down. They can no longer afford to service a debt of 20 million, but they can perhaps still able to service a loan of 15 or 10 million. So this program is simply saying we will convert part of the 20 million loan, 5 or 10 million, in these instruments which we call preference shares, convertible preference shares, which do not require immediate payment. So the business will continue focusing on repaying the remaining part of the debt, and then after that is settled, they can buy back the other portion of the instrument, and they become again 100% owners of the business. That is really what it is.
Chartered accountant Stefan Hugo elaborates on what convertible preference shares entails.
They had a loan, so they gave the business money, and that loan you had to pay back monthly. So what we see with some of these businesses, they're struggling to pay it back monthly. So what the bank is offering, if they offer to take up convertible preference shares, is that the bank becomes a shareholder, but it's a shareholder with preference to get money back out of the business. So a preference share means that the moment the business starts generating profits, the money that's generated will first go to the preference shareholders, and then it will go to the ordinary shareholders. So when we look at the ways that a business can be financed, there's a loan, and on the other end you have shareholders that put in equity. So those guys that put in equity, they have to wait for the business to generate a lot of profits, and then they can get dividends out. A preference share is sort of in the middle between the two. It's a little bit like a loan, where the bank says, okay, we will wait for you to generate profits, but you took the money and there's a liability to pay back that money. So it helps these business owners with the loans to have less cash flow pressure, because they can pay the bank when they make the money, instead of having that thing hanging over their head to pay the money every month.
Additionally, the bank will also deploy independent business experts to advise them and make recommendations whether a business which is under distress can still be salvaged.
We have crafted some plans to identify a pool of independent business advisors that can work alongside DBN and the businesses to do an in-depth analysis of where does the business stand at the moment, what has gone wrong, and what can we do to rectify it. And we will soon be advertising for a tender for these advisors, and we're really focusing on people that have got the necessary experience and skill. This is a very specialized field to help businesses turn around. We're also looking at experts that have been involved across various sectors so that they can help clients in various sectors. And we really want to make sure that these are companies that have got an impartial view both of the situation the company is in and also of potential solutions.
Since 2020, DBN has implemented various programs to rescue businesses, including payment holidays. The DBN will in the next few weeks appoint the independent business advisors through a procurement process. Nkumbi said although this is a rescue plan, it can serve as an opportunity for businesses to make strides towards a sustainable future.
And that is all we have for you. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages for more on the business front.
This Heroes Day Road Safety starts with me. I honor our heroes by walking safely, do the right thing, and save lives.
This message was brought to you by the National Road Safety Council.
The Namibian police arrested a 56-year-old man after he allegedly shot and killed his 56-year-old wife and 30-year-old daughter at Stinkwater Dordebus on Saturday. The wife was identified as Maggie Roy, while the daughter is Goldie Landsberg. Andrea said hearing of a person's death seems to have become a norm. Dafa Lau pointed out that depression is real. Stanley said guns are the problem and the justice system must save the women and children. David has doubts about getting a firearm. Zakaria said Namibia needs to evaluate on how to handle men. And that's it from Comments Corner. Please continue engaging with us on our stories for broadcast on News on One.
There are data deals, and then there are Telecom Namibia data deals. And if you want the biggest data deal of all, you gotta get 31-day Jiva, which comes with a massive 50 gigs of data. Is it even possible to use 50 gigs of data in a month? You tell us. You also get 1,000 voice minutes and 400 SMSs. To get your hands on 31-day Jiva, dial star 130 star 780 hash and enjoy a month of mega data. Whoa, that's a lot of data, minutes and SMS. How much is that? Must be expensive. No, it's only 185 Namibian dollars excluding VAT. T's and C's apply. Telecom Namibia.
Sharing your world. Back in the day, Susie's phone used to ring like a hotline. She was the most popular girl in town. But since she did not register her SIM card with her mobile service provider, her phone does not ring anymore. She has tried to get something similar. She has tried this and that number, but it has never been the same. So now, she has a reputation of being a number hoarder. Instead of just registering her SIM at her mobile service provider and keeping her number. Excuse me one sec. Hello? No, this isn't Susie. Have you tried her other number?
Don't miss out on important communications like Susie. Register your SIM to keep your number. Visit www.cran.na.
Enjoy these fantastic mid-month savings only at Clicks until the 17th of November. Buy Clicks 2-ply toilet paper, 18 rolls, 2 for $104.99 per pack and 1 for $114.99. Save 20% on Huggies Gold disposable nappies jumbo pack. And save 20% on Click's Extreme Power Laundry Gel Capsules. Clicks. Feel good. Pay less.
It's official. Namibia's junior women's inline skate hockey team was crowned as the official queens of hockey after winning the World Cup in Argentina earlier this month. The team returned to Windhoek this morning to present the World Cup to the Minister of Sports, Youth and National Safety, Agnes Shongarero.
After winning all qualifying rounds in the group, Namibia dominated their matches in style, which included hammering Argentina 8-1 and sealed their team's road to the World Cup Championship in June this year. This morning, a joyful Minister of Sport, Youth and National Services thanked the returning team for making the nation proud and bringing back the World Cup as the first African team to do so.
This is a very proud moment for us as Namibians. And thank you and congratulations and thank you for doing us this, giving us this pride. Because that is not always. But you've done it. And here comes an African country, a small one, with a small nation, and beat the biggest of the world. That is to be said. Thank you very much. This is just the beginning. You are the juniors, isn't it? Yes, yes, yes. So, if you have started now the way you have started, then you cannot be otherwise. Every time you go out or you compete, we will expect only the best from you. What that means actually is don't stop training. Don't stop dreaming. Don't stop. Don't think now this is the end of the world. This is the beginning for you. And I'm sure you'll make it. Every time people will now say Namibia, oh yes. And you know what will happen now? All those who have been with you in this competition, every country, those who have been there, plus those who were not there, they'll all go and prepare better so that they can beat you the next time. So it means for us, it's harder work now.
After displaying and dominating wins during the World Cup, the hockey team also broke another tournament record as their star player, who doubles as team captain, Christine Rautscher, netted a total of 27 goals. Sport on One caught up with the team captain, who shared their World Cup journey.
I did not expect us to do that well. We literally just played our best hockey we ever played. I expected a lot from the girls, but they just exceeded what I expected, and I'm super proud of all of them. That was a great feeling, I'm not gonna lie, especially in the finals, scoring 4 goals in the finals is a great feeling. Getting the feeling of just getting the pass from a teammate and finishing it off just really brings confidence to us, brings confidence to the team, and it's a really good feeling. I haven't felt anything like this. It's amazing just getting a medal, not despite getting the goal, just having a medal to bring home for your country is such an honor, and I'm so proud of everyone. Argentina was beautiful. It was great seeing the country, Buenos Aires, capital city, just lovely being there.
However, the junior men's inline hockey team reached 4th place during the World Cup.
That's it from the sports front. Please stay tuned for the weather forecast. We've come to the end of tonight's edition of News on One. From me, Isai Sipunga, and the team, it's good night.